Although a question like William Afton's favorite child might not be that significant to the FNAF lore overall, I've always been one to overanalyze the little things. Plus, I have always found these characters super interesting, and I think if we figure out their relationships with each other, it could potentially help figure out the lore as well. That is why today I decided to take everything we know about the Afton children to try and deduce who the menace that is William Afton would favor over the rest. So, let's jump right in. First, I think we should go over each of the kids and their respective traits, actions over the course of the story, and any other information we have about them. First, let's start with the crying child. We don't get much about his personality, other than the fact that he is pretty shy, anxious, probably, and doesn't talk much over the course of the games. All he does is, well, cry, really, and then he is killed by his older brother. He is also most likely the middle child of the Afton children, and he didn't live a very long life. I mean, none of them did, but the poor kid died on his birthday, and I'd say his age is anywhere between 6 to 10 years old. The poor dude is also absolutely terrified of the animatronics, not the characters themselves, but just the robots in general. As we know, he has plushies of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and Fredbear, so he's obviously not creeped out by the characters, just the fact that they're robots. After his death, the most widely accepted theory is that he goes on to possess Golden Freddy along with the Vengeful Spirit, or Cassidy. Now, no one is 100% sure about what exactly happens in Midnight Motorist, but there's always the chance that the runaway is the crying child. So while I'm not officially gonna state that, ooh, he ran away, I'm gonna throw it out there that there is a chance that he did a couple times, which would definitely result in him losing a couple of points in the favorite child contest. Next up we have Elizabeth, the youngest. Obviously this means she is the most childlike out of the 3 children. She also appears to be a little bit spoiled and pushy, according to her voice lines.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
Elizabeth seems to be the one most eager to make her father proud.
I will make you proud, Daddy.
But it seems no matter how hard she tries in both the games and the books, she only manages to annoy William. In the 4th closet, we even get to see William striking his daughter for disturbing him while he was working, and outright stating that she, quote, wasn't enough. She also outright ignored William's order to not go near Circus Baby, which resulted in her death. According to her voice lines, Circus Baby was made specifically for her, as a gift from William, I guess.
Didn't you make her just for me?
Which seems sweet at first until you find out that the animatronic is programmed to capture and kill children, so I don't know. Purple Guy is really sending out mixed signals. I also bring this up because I've actually seen people saying, oh well, he made her such an elaborate gift, he must like her the best. And while I see your point, if William really did make Circus Baby for his daughter, then I'm guessing he was expecting her to play with her gift, so I just don't understand why he would program the robot that he made for her to kill kids unless he just didn't really care about her also possibly dying. Which leaves us with one more kid. Michael, the oldest. We know Mike was quite the bully as a teen, constantly scaring his little brother and then one day taking it a bit too far, resulting in the crying child's death. This is something we know he feels very bad about and could very well be one of the things that haunts him for the rest of his life. And afterlife. You know, other than getting sent to an underground facility by his father to rescue his undead sister, dying at the hands of said sister, but in the form of an animatronic clown by getting his organs scooped out, then having a jumble of robot spaghetti climb inside of him and use him as a bodysuit, working at literally every single pizzeria that has ghost children, and getting just basically tortured over and over and over again because the spirits of his dad's victims mistake him for their killer, being haunted by the ghosts of his past and being hunted by the ghosts of his family. Literally. And finally burning along with his family in a super sketchy pizza place and getting the sweet release of death. Probably. But now that we went over each of the kids, it is time for the big reveal. Who is William Afton's favorite child? And the obvious answer is Elizabeth! And the crowd stays silent. I'm guessing most people, myself included, would guess Elizabeth, but is that really the case? Let's rewind for a second. Elizabeth helped William on multiple occasions, like, what? I guess she helped lure souls to the FNAF 6 location.
All of those little souls in one place. Just for us.
Although, we know how that ended. And yes, in the books she basically does everything for him, but only looking at the games, we can see that Elizabeth is very determined to please William, but it just seems like she hasn't been that successful. Of course, this doesn't 100% mean that she can't still be the favorite, but if you think about it, Michael has probably helped William just as much. He went down to sister location to free Elizabeth, he was very likely helping William collect Remnant while working at the FNAF 1 and 2 locations, and yes, he might not have been successful, but Elizabeth also had quite a few failed attempts to make him proud. Also, this might just be me, but doesn't it seem like Mike basically wanted to sacrifice himself in sister location? I mean, just listen to his speech.
I should be dead, but I'm not.
This was meant to convey that, oh yeah, so I was killed, but I'm basically possessing my own corpse, then he was really awfully calm about it. Could it be that he was expecting to die and that he's disappointed that it didn't work? Because that is messed up. Also, and this might just be a gut feeling, but since we know that William respected and almost worshipped Henry, at least in the books, I think he might respect the fact that Michael is his own person, not just blindly following orders like his daughter, but actually kind of rebelling, for lack of a better word. But then again, he does try to kill him in Pizzeria Simulator, so yeah. Although, listen to this voice line.
That was easier than I thought it would be.
I guess this can be interpreted as a taunt for the player, but it could also mean that William is almost disappointed in his son, kind of like, oh well, I was expecting better from you after all your experience. So honestly, I think everyone can decide for themselves whether they think Elizabeth or Michael is the favorite based on their interpretation of William. If you think he only sees his kids as tools and feels nothing toward them, you'll probably say Elizabeth, because she will blindly follow any order her father gives her. But if you think William respects his kids as human beings, at least on some level, you might say Michael is the favorite, because while he starts out as William's accomplice, he ultimately chooses his own destiny. Or maybe you think the crying child's the favorite because he literally did nothing and just stayed out of the way. If anyone is wondering, me personally, I always thought Mike would be the favorite. It's just like a feeling, I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing for more awesome content. Bye bye!